And we're back, everybody. This is our second segment with NatalieGranado, and Natalie is from Teex. All right, from Texas A&M system. I guess it's a part of Texas A&M University down in Texas. Let me ground down the house music here a little bit. Natalie, where we left you off last, we were talking about the training is free to local levels. Can you just go over one more time now? This is a DHS funded program, correct? All right.
Correct.
And how do I get that? If I'm InfraGard, or if I'm somebody else from the local community that wants to go after that funding, how do I do it?
Now, to utilize these courses to actually to take advantage of the training that's available, this is all part of a presidential directive, and that funding comes from the presidential budget and goes to the NDPC. So those 10 online courses that I had mentioned previously, all you have to do is go to Teex.com, and you can register for the courses right there online and take full advantage of them. You can register for all 10 courses and are able to stop when you want to, start when you want to, et cetera, et cetera. So you can take advantage of those. The face-to-face courses are a little harder to come by because the funding is a little bit tight, but basically you would go through your state administrative agency and request those, and then what they do is we bring those face-to-face deliveries to the state, and then you could actually register for to be a participant for those courses at that time.
All right, that sounds fairly straightforward. Incredible for a federal program. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, most of these federal programs are quite difficult. They're filled with a lot of paperwork and a lot of bureaucracy, but that seems fairly straightforward. Here in New York City, obviously, we probably wouldn't go through the state guide, but they have given part of this to New York City OEM. The Office of Emergency Management here in New York City. So that's probably where the local people would go here. All right, you had mentioned something before about the community cybersecurity maturity model. Would you expand on that a little bit and keep going through the program so our listeners know what's going on?
Happy to, absolutely. The maturity model was developed by the University of Texas at San Antonio, and the reason that it was developed was to help communities improve their cybersecurity posture. It's addressing a plan that's needed for communities to build their individual cybersecurity programs so that they can protect, respond, recover from any sort of cyber event. That model has 5 different levels that increases their cybersecurity improvement. Basically, you would start at level 1, and you would increase with your cybersecurity program. You would increase in cybersecurity awareness, in cybersecurity information sharing, planning, and processes. So those 4 very specific areas, or what we call dimensions, are all addressed in the cybersecurity maturity model so that we can get better in our programs. And essentially what this model does for us is it allows us to measure exactly where we are, and it provides us a roadmap so that we know exactly where we're going in terms of cybersecurity, and it gives us a common point of reference so that we actually can talk about our cybersecurity programs at the community level, at that local level. Because right now today, if you were to go to someone and say, hey, how's your security posture in New York City? And we really don't know how to talk about that. So with this model now, we know basically how to communicate that. So where is our maturity? Are we at level 1 or are we at level 5? So increasing how good we are at cybersecurity. And then how are we addressing it in terms of the awareness, information sharing, and our processes and procedures and in planning. So now we actually have a way to talk about our cybersecurity posture. And that is, in a nutshell, really what the CCSMM, or the Community Cybersecurity Maturity Model, is all about.
Wow, that is very, very cool. It is something we're constantly trying to wrap our arms around here in New York City, and that, quite frankly, is how do you measure your level of preparedness? All right, I think a lot of us have some anecdotal information, but not everybody always is up to speed on how you can do that. Providing additional tools to the community, of course, is a great way to go, and that sounds like one of the things that Teex does.
Exactly, absolutely. Those courses that we provide are available to folks so that we can help them at the local level. And where we're at right now is basically at that awareness level. We're at the beginning stages of addressing how do we deal with cybersecurity issues, and what specifically do we need to do to get better at our cybersecurity practices. So that is exactly what Teex is out there doing, and we're doing it not in a silo, but we're doing it in a program that is meant to help everyone get better in their cybersecurity posture.
Well, as we go forward with you and our discussion with Teex, we hope to be able to participate in some way to help the awareness, the information sharing, the processing, and the planning as we move forward here at InfraGard as well. All right, Natalie, we want to welcome you onto the program today, and hopefully the information sharing will continue as we get a little bit more familiar with Teex, T-E-E-X. All right, that's 2 E's and an X, Teex. All right, exactly. So thank you very much. All right, and we'll look forward to hopefully hearing more from you in the future as this program grows.
I'd be happy to come back out and let you know where we're at.
All right, the house music is back up. That's it for today. Thank you, Natalie. We'll look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you.
Bye now.